talk about communication, and communication as it relates to closings. And first thing I'll say to you is this. I've been an attorney for 17 years, and one thing I can tell you about practicing and being a lawyer and having clients is that communication is so important. No matter if it's a closing matter or any other matter, communication is key. And this is where we really excel. Communication with the closing, if it fails, can be the pitfall of your closing. It can really ruin your experience and sometimes keep you from getting to the closing table. So how we communicate with you, how you communicate with us is important. So the means of communication is essential. So whether it be by phone, by email, or through what's called our secure portal, we've got to establish some way to communicate with you. Whether it be an agent, whether it be buyer, seller, lender, we got to get that communication flow going. And once we get that communication going, we can address issues timely, we can address issues quickly, and we can address issues in the way they need to be addressed, such that all parties walk away with an understanding. I will even go as far as to say, if we don't communicate with you, people are confused, and we want to avoid confusion. So for our purposes, we're available around the clock. Our attorneys and our team monitor our emails, we monitor our portal, we get emails day, night, and weekends. And sometimes it's an emergency, and when those emergencies arise, we're right there to make sure that we get it resolved, if there is one. In some cases, it may be just a matter of clearing up something that you misunderstood, or it may be something that needs to be changed, and we're here to make those changes. All of that is normal, is standard for closing process, so it can happen to any file, any agent, any buyer, any seller, or any law firm. But how you address those issues is what's important, and communication is the problem solver. Communication is what we do best. Like I said, we're available around the clock. We go the extra mile. We communicate in a way that we don't communicate with one team and miscommunicate with the other. We do a lot of confidential communication when necessary, because we recognize that how we communicate is going to save the deal. And so some information is buyer information, some information is seller information. But when it's something that everyone needs to know, we will be the first to communicate with the team, with the whole party transaction, to make sure that you get what you need to get. But our goal is to get you to the closing table.
We're careful and we're discreet. So we recognize that closings can be delicate matters. And what one side may be experiencing may be a momentary disruption, but it's not something that should kill the deal. We work with that side to make sure that we get everything that they need, and we do everything that we can to get them where they need to be for closing. And then we communicate with the other side to make sure that they have what they need and that they're ready for closing. We recognize that there are two sides to the transaction, and how we communicate can kill a deal. And so we are not about that. We are about getting to the closing table. We're about celebrating successful, happy celebrations, successful closings is what we want to do. So communication is where we rise above all the others and where we do best. And if you're not getting that type of communication and that level of service, you may want to reevaluate. But communication is key, and that can make or break a closing.